Right. Hey, everybody. I'm Tamara, and I have my friends Christine, Emily, and Ari with me. And we are going to talk to you guys a little bit about Beachbody coaching. So I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can all see this. We made a little presentation for you guys. I'm going to try to move our faces over here. There we go. All right. So we'll start off. So a little bit about us. I'll explain these amazing women. So we're all on the same team. We all work together on a weekly basis. We touch base. We're always communicating. Myself and Ari and Emily are my personally sponsored coaches. So wave your hands. Say hi. And then Christine is Ari's personally sponsored coach. So we're all on the same team. We're all in the same community. Myself and Ari are both diamond coaches, and both Emily and Christine are really quick on their way to also hitting that rank, which that doesn't mean much to you guys that don't know what this means. But why I'm telling you this is so that you can understand that we are coaches that are growing our business. We're doing this because we love, like all of us love helping other people, and we've really loved what we've gotten from this community. And then we are all moms to young children. Christine actually has twins, and then Emily has a little boy, and Ari has a little boy, and I have a little girl and another little girl on the way. So we all have little ones at home. We understand busy. We understand tired. We understand tantrums. So I think all of our kids are actually in bed right now, which is kind of genius. It doesn't happen often.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, that's the key. So here's a slide that kind of shows you guys a graph of what is Team Beachbody. So on the top, you'll see that before Team Beachbody, there was a couple workout programs. The one on there that most everybody has heard of is P90X. The one I love on there is Turbo Jam. I actually started with Turbo Jam years ago. But since Team Beachbody launched, so we just had Beachbody, and then our founder, Carl Deichler and John Congdon, decided that the core of this business was to help people achieve their goals. And to do that, they wanted to have people that were supporting people through that journey. And they kind of saw it happening naturally on like these message boards that Beachbody used to have. And so they thought, why don't we create an opportunity for people out of this? So since Beachbody has created this opportunity, you'll see that they have launched a bajillion more programs. We have a ton of more programs to offer to people. And that's because they saw the opportunity to really take these products that they have, make them more amazing. You'll see like P90X, then later came out P90X3. Now I know one of the most popular ones that you guys might have heard of is 21 Day Fix. There's even ones that aren't listed on here, like Hammer and Chisel, 21 Day Fix Extreme, Country Heat, Size, Core to Force. So if you've already been working with one of these ladies, you might actually be doing one of those programs that's not even shown on this graph right here. So I'm just showing you this so that you guys see that this is something, since becoming an opportunity for people to make a business, Beachbody really, really makes an effort to come up with new programs to keep people engaged and to keep coaches in business. So I think that that's really awesome. And I'm pretty sure a couple of us have women crushes on Carl. He's hot. Emily does.
My husband knows it.
Yeah, my husband does too. He's sitting over there. He's probably So Beachbody offers something for everybody. So a lot of times people will hear Beachbody and they'll think Insanity Max 30 or Insanity or P90X, and they're like, I can't do that. But really what Beachbody has is so much more. You'll see that we have some programs that are harder, like Insanity and P90X, but we also have some that are like PiYo. It's a body weight only program. It's so good at just kind of relaxing and stretching out the body. It's not going to be hard. You're not going to be jumping around like crazy to get a good workout. So there's something for everybody. We have nutritional programs. So the Ultimate Reset is a 21-day nutrition only program. It's really great that we have this. It's kind of sets your body back to, your natural born state. We have the 3-day refresh, which is really popular among our group. We do one of these pretty much after every holiday because we all eat like crud, and that's just life. And then we want to refresh our body. So there's something that you can get from Beachbody, whether it's fitness or nutrition or a combo of both. And one of the things, so if you're currently working with a coach, you might already be on Shakeology, or you might have heard about Shakeology. So do any of you girls want to kind of share, like where you were at before trying Shakeology and maybe how it's helped you?
Sure. For me, I was and still am a total chocoholic. So I love chocolate more than anything. So I was just snacking around the clock on chocolate. So since I started drinking Shakeology, it's really kind of helped give me that fix, but without kind of snacking as much as I was before. So it's really kind of put that back in check.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was a total caffeine junkie. I had about 4 cups of coffee a day. And Shakeology has a lot of natural energy in it. And so natural caffeine. So it has helped curb my coffee cravings and gave me the energy I needed. So, and I am also a chocolate fan. So, but of course, you can ask your coach more questions about Shakeology. We could all talk about it forever and ever. I will say it's a super dense superfood meal replacement. You're going to have vitamins and nutrients in it that you wouldn't normally get from, say, a regular protein shake. It has a lot more in it. We all love it. It's helped us all with different things from, our immune systems to our digestive tracts to, I know for me, I think that it helped a lot with my hormones. I know it's helped a lot with my acne. I used to get really bad neck acne, and I don't have that anymore. And it's because I've cleaned up my nutrition, and I have, this dense nutrition every day in my body that's helping me curb cravings of other foods and just really get vitamins that I was lacking. So I think the best thing about being a coach is having peer support. So you'll see all these ladies are the ones that we have, right here on this call with you guys. I know that my life has been forever changed since starting this opportunity. And it's because of these women. And I have to say, none of us knew each other. A year and a half ago, I think, is when I started. And ever since then, we've all just connected, and it's been through social media. So, you'll see us, we're in our picture together up in the top left. And that is a group of us that got to go to Coach Summit. And that's basically an event every year that is hosted. This next year, it'll be in New Orleans. And we get to go and we get to be together for a couple of days. And we get to learn from, coaches in the industry that are doing this, that have done this for years. And so it's just awesome. And besides that, we all, like I said earlier, we talk pretty much daily or weekly, and we share with each other, hey, where are you at with your, your own health and fitness, or where are you at with your challengers? How's your business going and helping those people? What are you doing that's impacting their lives? And it's really just, it's huge. It's just a huge thing to see. And you'll see right here as well, 45 lives changed in October. So, this group of women that you see pictured together helped 45 people in 1 month. And that's something that I don't take lightly. I definitely am extremely proud of our girls for doing this. And I should say men too. We have a couple men that are in our team, but mostly women, mostly women. So recognition is huge in our team. I know I just love giving shout outs to everybody, and that's not something that you get at a normal job. Your boss normally isn't like, good job, you got that done. We're like, heck yeah, you got that done. So anybody else need to add anything? Did I miss anything? No.
I would just add that when you join our coaching team, you're really not alone. So a lot of people join and they hear about becoming a coach and they sign up, and then they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so we really have a great network of men and women who can really help you get started on the right foot. So you're not alone as you get started, and you're not alone throughout your whole coaching experience. Like Tamara mentioned, we're constantly in communication with each other, and it's really helpful, especially when you're talking about maybe what you're struggling with, or, looking for ideas or whatever it might be. We have a really great community of people who are there 24/7.
Yeah.
And I would also just add, there's also a lot of great trainings. So I think when you first start off, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of great resources that are already out there for you. So you can kind of really hit the ground running, at whatever pace you're interested in. And all the information is kind of there, and everybody's there to support you.
Mm-hmm. And also, like we support each other in our businesses, but I feel like we also just like support each other, you know, in our personal lives. And like, we've become like a family, friends, you know? So it's like, as a stay-at-home mom, it can get kind of lonely. So it's always nice to have people that you can reach out to, even like on a personal level too, not only like in your business. So
yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. It's just been really great. It's not something that I've had, you know, even in sorority life, I didn't feel like I was as close to my, you know, girlfriends there as I am to this team. It's just a different thing, I think. So here's some proven results. So you know, if you're in a challenge right now, you're working on getting, you know, your photo, your after photo. So this is just a couple pictures of some of the coaches on our team actually that have had transformations. I know they're kind of small, but you know, this is what we love. We love being able to see people get healthier and happier. And so I think this is just really cool to kind of see a big picture of a lot of people that have been helped. So we're each going to talk a little bit about, you know, ourselves and our own journey. So I just want to share, like, before coaching, I was incredibly stressed out. I was working an IT job from home. So a lot of people were like, oh, it's from home. That's like the best job ever. And I'm like, I was so stressed and I was upset all the time and I wasn't eating well. I shared with somebody today, actually, I would get done with work and I would drink a glass of whiskey because I was so stressed out. And that's not a good way to deal with things. And I knew that. Other than the whiskey, I had really good nutrition, but I realized I was eating the wrong types of food. Well, not the wrong types, the wrong amounts of food. I wasn't getting enough nutrition for my body. I was just extremely unhappy and just a huge self-doubter. My daughter was in daycare when she was 6 weeks young. So I, you know, went back to work immediately, and she was in daycare at 6 weeks until about 8 months. And that was then that my husband and I just were like, something has to change. Like, it has to change. And I quit my job, and I actually wrote in my journal, I will never be a Beachbody coach, because I had been asked about it and I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't want to do that. That's not a real job. And then, a month later, I wrote in my journal, I'm a Beachbody coach and I'm the happiest I've ever been. So it's kind of crazy. So never say never. If you tell one of us never, we'll probably just ask you again later down the road to see if something's changed, because you never know. So I seriously love this job. I'm really optimistic, and I'm extremely grateful. I am pregnant with our second, and she will be home with me. I won't have to put her in daycare at 6 weeks. You know, I'll have the option to bring somebody into our home to actually help me out with her a little bit if I wanted to, but I won't be leaving her. So that's something that I'm really grateful for. And I just want to share, I've had these pieces of paper. It says what I want and what I don't want. And I've had this with me since I became a coach. And so a lot of those things that I just told you about, how I was really stressed out and I dreaded spending time away from work, and I dreaded that my daughter was in daycare really young, and I didn't really feel appreciated in my job. Those are things that I wrote. I was like, I don't want that in Beachbody, because I didn't know like what to expect when I became a coach. I thought, like, is it going to, like, am I going to get taken advantage of again? So I wrote those down on a piece of paper. Like, I don't want those things. And then what I wanted, because I didn't have this, is I wanted to feel helpful. I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to enjoy my time working, but remember to take time off and find that balance. And I wanted to be able to work on my positivity. And that's just something, like, you know, those were things that I wanted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I have. Like, it's been a year and a half and I have these things. Like I'm so much more positive, and I know that it's because of these women and the coaching team that just has supported me, you know, in and out through this process. And it's just been such an amazing ride to just kind of really see that you can go from being, you know, in a job that, you know, it might have been like mine, where you might have cried every day or drank whiskey at night, to being really happy and, you know, finally feeling like what you're doing every day matters. So. Right, Christine.
Sure. So before I started coaching, I was actually really active. I was running, doing hot yoga, and ran a few marathons. And then, as Summer mentioned, I have twins, so that was pretty life-changing for me. I was also working a corporate job that was very demanding, tons of hours, and sort of in my head, that was the path of where I was going. I was kind of trying to move my way up that corporate ladder and kind of came to a pretty big halt when I had the boys. They arrived at 31 weeks. So they were in the hospital, and, you know, it just kind of really kind of changed my mindset on what I wanted to do. And I ended up deciding to stay home with them. And that was really what I poured my energy into for over a year. And kind of as Tamara mentioned, you know, people have been reaching out and asking me, and, you know, Ari and I had been talking, but I just didn't really feel like I was ready to kind of commit to getting back into shape. And then I think when they were about 16 months old was when I kind of felt like I was ready to kind of take it on. And I'm so glad I did. It really was life-changing and put me in a position to start to feel so much healthier and bring me back to that person that I was before I had them. So when I joined as a discount coach. I had no intentions of actively coaching. I just knew that this was kind of the most cost-effective way to join. So, you know, jumped in, and my first program was 21 Day Fix, and I loved it. Like, I think this is actually my results from my first program. And I was, you know, for me, the accountability is what really worked, and kind of the sense of community. Staying at home was a major difference for me. I'm a pretty social person. So I loved having that connection. So I ended up just deciding, you know, to take the leap and start coaching. And I love it. I think that for me, the biggest things that came out of it, like I just said, is the accountability. And I mean, since this program, it's now December, I haven't not been doing a program. I think I just keep transitioning, and I would never do that on my own. So it's something that as a challenger, I have people who tend to join in are doing a great job and then kind of come in and out of the groups. And I find when you start to coach, you kind of come into that community, and it really becomes part of that lifestyle and how you are living. And it's not always perfect. Like, we're not eating perfectly all the time or working out all the time. You know, we have our moments, but overall it definitely has like shift my mindset. And I know one of the things that tends to be not an objection, but things that people always worry about is just finding the time to do it. And, you know, I still struggle with that sometimes. And what I kind of refer to it as power pockets. Like, I kind of work in 10 or 15 minute increments throughout the course of the day. There are days that I don't work at all. And then there's days that I work for like an hour or two. So, you know, there's tons of flexibility with this opportunity. And that's what I also really liked. I can make of it what I would like. And, you know, if there's times that I really want to be pushing more, I can do it. And if I, you know, have a lot going on in my life, everybody here is so supportive. Ari is actually, you know, my success partner. So she's somebody that I work with really closely and totally understands what I'm going through. So having that camaraderie, you know, is another benefit that comes from coaching.
And you're moving to the next town over. Yay.
Yeah, and moving at the end of the month.
That'll be so nice.
And then the last thing I want to say is, I think the thing that kind of sold me on coaching too was I really like Shakeology. As we talked about earlier, I started to not eat so much junk. And once I learned that all I needed to do was just help out 3 people each month in order to pay for my Shakeology, I was like, oh, you know, that was kind of, you know, a game changer for me. So it was like, okay, I can continue doing what I'm doing, helping people. So kind of just felt like a win-win. So, you know, even if you're not actively looking to coach initially, just having, you know, that information top of mind is really helpful, I think.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
My turn. So before I became a coach, I was staying home with my son. And before I had him, I was just working retail part-time. I have an artist background. And so I always kind of struggled to find my place in like the workforce. So after I had my son, we were planning that I would go back to retail or some sort of part-time job. And like, I just couldn't bear to like leave my son for a job that I really had no interest in whatsoever. So when I came across this opportunity, I was following Tamara and I saw what she was doing and I was really inspired by it. So I reached out to her and she told me what she was doing. And I actually watched a sneak peek similar to this. and I decided to give it a try. And as you can see that it says, I've always been very, very shy. I went to high school with Christine. I don't even know if I talked to her in high school. I suffered from like social anxiety really pretty badly. So for me, becoming a coach has really been like a mental transformation. I've really been like pushed out of my comfort zone, like beyond belief. And I've really like developed so much more confidence in myself. And the support from everybody has just really been amazing. So yeah, I'm still introverted, obviously, but it's just, I'm just like, I feel like I found a passion for this and being a leader. And I finally feel like I'm able to contribute to our family finances and do something that I love. And, the fact that I can stay home with my son too is just amazing. And I feel really lucky for that. So it's just been like such an amazing, incredible experience for me. Like I don't even know where I would be if I didn't, have this community and support from these other ladies. So I appreciate it.
I like tear up when I think about like meeting you. And then this is Erica, who you work with, Ari.
Yeah. So Erica, I went to high school with her. We were friends. So I did talk to her because I was, not that I wasn't friends with Christine, but I didn't talk to people that I wasn't really like friends with. So.
And now you're like teaching me how to talk to people. So
it's
coming full circle.
I know, right? If my high school self could see me now. So Erica was a challenger of mine, and she had just had a baby, and actually she was super, super motivated to get back into shape. That we were talking while she was still pregnant. And then she said, I'm definitely interested in trying a program after I had my baby. And she started, I think once she was cleared with her doctor to work out, she like jumped right into a program. And she committed 110% following the program with her nutrition. And she's had amazing, amazing results. She signed up as a discount coach. Like Christine said, just to get the discount. She didn't really have any thoughts about working the business or anything like that. So we completed a challenge group, and I was like, she would make such an amazing coach. She's like super inspiring and motivating. And before I could even reach out to her, she pretty much was like, I'm interested. She's working full time, but she, wanted to make some extra money. So just trying to see. So before she started, she was at her heaviest weight. She wasn't very active. Like she said, new mom survival mode. Like she literally had a 6-week-old. So the fact that she made this commitment is pretty incredible. So
and she has an older son.
Right. She's a stepson too. Yeah. And actually what's pretty incredible is like her whole family has kind of gotten on board with eating healthier, her husband and her stepson too. So it's pretty amazing to see her transformation.
Yeah, I will say, I just got the 10-minute warning just so you guys know. And I will say with her, I've noticed she just shared, I remember when she shared, I think it was this picture is when a couple of people reached out to her, actually quite a few people were like, what are you doing? And so it's one of those, you might want to just have a discount and then you're kind of like, maybe I want to get paid for my Shakeology. And maybe you're brave enough to share your photo and you'll most likely get people asking you how they can do the same thing. And your coach, just like Ari said, just like Christine said about Ari, will help you with that communication. Kind of Ari is helping Christine talk to people. Ari helped Erica talk to people to, help them get started too. So you're not alone. That's one thing that we want to make clear is you're never alone. Like we're here to help with all of that transition mode. If you do want to help people, but if you don't, you just want, you want the nutrition, the Shakeology at a discount, it's an amazing opportunity. So this is Emily.
Hi. Okay, I'll go fast since I know we only have a few minutes left here. But I left my job. I had worked at a hospital for 6 years, and I left my job when our son was born. And I'm not exaggerating. About 6 weeks after he was born, I was questioning if I had made the right decision. And I know that sounds awful. I don't mean it in an awful way. I loved being home with him when he was that small, but my husband does a lot of travel for his job, and I was home by myself quite a bit, and I felt like I didn't really have like an outlet for myself. And so that's when I started talking with Tamara, and Tamara and I were just talking about getting started on a fitness program. The coaching thing had never even crossed my mind. I was just like, I just need to do something and get involved and kind of have an outlet and be doing something for myself. So I started as a challenger, and I went through my first round of the 21-day fix. And by the end of it, I had lost about 7 pounds. And really my energy was up. I had a pretty bad struggle with postpartum anxiety. So my anxiety was down. I was just feeling a lot better about myself. I was just feeling more energized and more connected with people and just excited about my own journey. So it was probably about a month after that I actually signed up as a coach. And just like some of the other girls said, I wasn't really sure about coaching, but I was also interested in getting my Shakeology paid for, especially as a stay-at-home mom, because I felt like I couldn't justify like the money for it at the time. So I was like, oh, if I could just help people, then I could stay on it because I really liked it too. And then it just kind of spiraled, it became something that I was super excited about doing every day, and met some of my best friends through it. And it's just something that really keeps me energized and allows me to kind of have an outlet while I stay home, but still have the blessing of being able to be a stay-at-home mom. So all of those have been really positive things. And like I mentioned before, with my husband traveling, we actually sat down and did the math one time, and I get like 30 extra days a year at home with him now that I'm able to work from home than I would have had if I had continued my office job. So that's a pretty significant amount of time, especially if your husband travels, 50 to 75% of the year. So, we're just grateful as a family to have the opportunity to, really have that extra time together. So that's been a huge, thing for us. So that's my little story.
And I'll have to share Emily with time when she talks about this. I think that that's something that I've benefited from Emily, and Kelsey's not on this one, but she's my success partner. Both of these women kind of have helped me balance my time so that I don't focus on the business too much and I focus on family and really finding that, that what her photo shows, that quality time with each. So that's just something I'm really grateful for this community for as well. Like that's just, we support each other, and like we said, not just business, but in family. So I'll share briefly about my coach, Michelle, just so that you guys can kind of see if you are thinking about this as a business rather than just to get your shakes paid for. You can see right here. So Michelle has been doing this since 2010. Her monthly income in October was $55. Her monthly income in October of 2015 was almost $12,000 in 1 month. And so this is just showing consistency over time. Michelle's, she'll tell you there's nothing miraculous about her. I think she's pretty amazing, but she just stayed consistent and has legitimately helped 3 people every month. And her and her husband have grown this business. And it's these photos that you see here that actually drew me to the opportunity. I think her husband, Brian, posted one of these photos and said, because of my wife's job, we got to go to Cancun in Italy paid for. And I was kind of like, what does she do? What do you do, Michelle? And she told me she was a Beachbody coach. And this was after I already knew a little bit about Beachbody coaching. I was like, that's not a real thing. It's still not a real thing. And then finally I took a sneak peek just like this and learned a little bit more about that not even just as a business, but as a community, there's so much that the opportunity has to offer. So that's just to kind of show you if you are interested in, really making some income. And I do want to point out, Beachbody disclosure, the level of income, it does not, it will be met. Let me see if I have this written down. I'm like, oh gosh, did I write this down from the FAQ? No, I didn't. I'm not going to say this right, but basically your level of income will come from your level of effort. There's no guarantees in this opportunity. It's what you put in is what you'll get out. So you're not guaranteed that money. That's just, what one person has been able to do. On the topic of making money, so it's really simple. Coaches earn by sharing. We earn by sharing. We earn money by being open and inviting people to the accountability groups. Period. That's it. It's not rocket science. We just, you just follow your coach's footsteps. They'll help you reach out to your own coach. If you do decide to become a coach, if you want to, get your Shakeology paid for, they're there to help you. So this is Kim right here. And, she just said within 4 months of helping others as a coach, she had enough to pay monthly private school tuition for her boys. So it's a pretty cool opportunity where it literally is just helping people. So a coach. As a coach, you don't have to be a fitness or nutrition expert. You can tell all of us have different backgrounds from where we came from. You don't already have to be at your fitness and nutrition goal. We all showed you our transformations. And you don't have to be an experienced salesperson because it's not about sales. It's just about sharing. So a coach you should, if you want to do this as a coach, as a business, if you want to do this as a discount coach, you don't have to share. But you're more than welcome to always share, what you're doing. You just need to be committed to your workout. Just kind of like Christine said earlier, once you become a coach, you just stay more committed to your workouts. So even if you're in a challenge group right now with one of us and you're kind of struggling, I really know that this is the one thing that keeps me more accountable because I'm always in those small challenge groups again, and I'm always helping people. And seeing them start always encourages me to keep going, if that makes sense. So that's why I love just, the whole, what we are is just improving and developing ourselves and others. So the benefits of coaching, we've kind of shared all of these. We set our own work hours. You can, focus part or full-time work. You can build online or in person. You've heard from here, Emily and Ari both met me on social media, and Christine and Ari are friends in real life. So there's just, there's no one wrong or right way to do this. And I know we have less than a minute. So I will skip that one. If I'm going to go all the way down to here. So this is our team. If you've been watching this, you've learned a little bit more about us. Reach back out to the coach that got in touch with you. We're going to reach out to you and we're going to ask you, what did you like? Where do you see yourself? Do you want to do the discount member option? Do you want to coach for real? We're here to meet you wherever you're at. And we just really thank you for joining us tonight and, or today, if you're watching it during the day. And we hope that y'all have a really great rest of your day. And we can't thank you all enough. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.